Oops.
We got plenty of time.
Oops.
Very good.
There I am reading.
Hello, 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 hello. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Girls, it is excellent to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, welcome, everybody, to what are we? Rolling with the Golden Oldies, I think.
We're Golden Oldies, yeah.
We are the Golden Oldies. And today we're going to be talking about how to stay young and healthy while you're getting to be Golden Oldies. We're specifically going to be focusing on exercise, what we've all tried, what's worked for us, what hasn't worked for us, and the happy dog in Ellen's house.
What you want?
But first, before we start, Sean, can you give us our wonderfully cool sponsors so we can thank them? Puppy in the background. Yes, as usual, we are sponsored by mobility professionals and urology professionals. They're our friends. They are friends to our community, and they know what they're doing, don't they?
Absolutely.
So thank you to the gang over at Mobility Professionals and Urology Professionals. Our friend Anthony has recently joined them, so
Yeah,
that's a good partnership for everybody.
absolutely. They know what they're doing there.
They really do, and they're kind.
They
So
are.
I'm sure you saw them at the Abilities Expo. They were working their butts off,
Yeah,
which
they
is
were.
good. Yeah. So anyway, I'm
Yeah.
Julianne Delara, T12 para from transverse myelitis for going on 30 years. And my friend Michelle Altamirano.
Hi, I'm Michelle Altamirano. I just had my 37th anniversary last Wednesday. I have a C6-7 injury, and I'm here. Ellen?
Hi, I'm Ellen Stoll. I am a C5678T1 incomplete injury, and I'm in my 43rd year. I was injured in 1983, so 43 years ago, this last January.
You're just an overachiever.
How time
Gotta break
flies.
them all. They gotta break them all. That was no fortunate that it was not severed, in that I do have pretty good hand movement, no thumb muscles. And as we age, I think for me the hardest thing is the arthritis in the hands, and then our arms do everything. So even when you're exercising other parts of your body, your arms are it.
That's it.
Well, not to sound too new age and hippie-ish, which I am, but about 15 years ago now, a girlfriend of mine who was new age and hippie-ish, said, your arthritis will go away if you give up gluten. And I went, sure. She went, just try it for 10 days and see what happens. So I went, all right. Because I was a
Mhm.
massage therapist and my thumbs and knuckles were just gone.
Oh,
You know, I was at 40 getting arthritis. So
yeah.
gave it up for 10 days. My arthritis went away. So I've been gluten free for 15 years.
Wow, good for you. Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
I
know
actually
who it
don't
might
eat-
look for.
yeah, no, I actually don't eat a ton of gluten. I'm not a huge bread eater, and I watch it, but maybe. Uh, I mean, I don't know. X-rays show that it's pretty in there. But
Yeah.
I mean, using your hands for 43 years, the way that we use our hands and for everything.
Absolutely.
But I'm not against it because I do believe that there are. I will say that I tweaked my shoulder and I was getting so fatigued, and I realized I had not been taking my vitamins for the last week, and that
Uh,
I diagnosed myself on the internet, and it's like it could be B12 deficiency, and I
Yeah.
started up on my B12, and I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I feel like a
Better.
new human being. Everything is
Yeah.
better. So it does make a difference what you put into your body and what you process and how you use it. It's a combination of all. I just read a great article in the Times that
Yeah.
if you sleep 5 minutes longer a day, eat a half a serving of vegetables a day, and work out for 5 minutes or exercise and move for 5 minutes, it will add a year to your life. No, it was
Great.
they've done a scientific study on that, and I was like, those are actually pretty easy tweaks. Add 5 more minutes to your
Absolutely.
sleep, 5 minutes of some sort of physical exercise, and half a serving of vegetables. They weren't asking you to, drink 64 ounces of water, which I don't know
Yeah.
how I'd be able to. Hey, Rob. Hey, Tara. Nikki. Hi, Nikki. Leah. Nicole's
see you
out
guys.
there. Yay. Woo.
And of course,
Nice
different
to see
things
y'all.
work for different people, but B12 really does help those of us who are of a certain
Yes.
age.
I would say.
Just yeah, and I think just the biggest is like the stretching in the morning. Just kind of get everything a little bit warmed up before you get out and start moving. Yeah, and even
Y'all
at night
realize
too, just to help relax. Just a quick little stretches. Stretch out the kinks at night, and I think it just helps you relax a little bit better than being all tensed up and up from the day.
absolutely.
Mhm.
I would say, do y'all feel like it takes so much longer to get out of bed now?
Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
definitely.
like, oh, okay, I need to add a good 20, 25 minutes just to sit up and get my butt into my chair because
Yeah.
my dog's up running down. I'm like, wait for me. I'll eventually get there and open the door. He on the floor. It's just taking me a little bit more time than it used to.
A little bit longer. Yeah.
Yeah, and
just
the
a
sounds
little
you
bit
used to
longer.
make, the sounds you used to make for sex, now you make just trying to get out of bed.
Get out of bed.
Oh, yeah. Like, what's going on in there? Just trying to sit up. That's it.
Trying to move,
It's
guys.
just me.
That
Oh
is
my
the truth of
goodness.
it.
Yeah. No
But
kidding.
I
Right?
think if you give yourself that grace and take the time, it's not so bad, right? You just build it into your schedule now, because I
Yeah.
think if you're comparing yourself to what you did 20 years ago and you're never going to be
Nope.
happy. So it's like, nope,
Yeah.
now I just need that, I need to lay in bed for about 10, 15
Yeah.
minutes with just a little light of my phone on and then start slowly to move.
Yeah.
So just build that into my schedule. 30 minutes just to get moving.
There you
Yep.
go. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and word to all of the youngsters out there, I went skiing recently. I had been
Ooh.
skiing, I think 10 years before or 15 years before, and I was zooming down the slopes 10 or 15 years ago. Had a blast. This time, last month, all I could think about was don't fall, don't break anything. I've
Okay.
broken enough bones by now, no breaks, no sprains, and it was not as much fun. So
There
do
you
that
go.
stuff while you're young, please.
Yeah. That carefree attitude kind of
Yeah.
goes away. Yeah, right. Everything is like, okay, hold on. Let's make sure we're good here. We're balanced. We're not,
Yeah. Yeah.
we're
No
not
more surgery.
falling. We're not getting stuck anywhere. So
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the ramifications of just a fall or a tweak, like
Yeah.
just to be able to heal in 24 hours, they're like, okay, I can use it again. Now it's like, oh, I tweaked my shoulder, I can't. But the stretching is so important. And you talked about massage, but massage therapists, again, where it hurts might not actually be what is hurt. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I've been having a lot of trouble with my shoulder, my scapula really bad, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it is exacerbated by the muscles in my neck. So I've been doing a lot of neck stretches, and I was like, oh, that really helps that pain in the back. And
definitely.
so tracking down exactly what needs stretch to alleviate where the pain is not as easy as, oh, it hurts here. That must be where it's damaged. That's, you know.
No, not at all. It all comes down from the neck all the way down to the tips of your fingers, and anything in between could be causing pain.
Like, we're just detectives now, body detectives.
There you go. Yeah.
Find a good PT or massage therapist who's taken anatomy, kinesiology, and is up on what connects to what. That really helps.
Yes. Absolutely. And I will say, if you are in the Northridge area and you can go to the Center of Achievement, that is, I've been going there for over 30 40 years. I've been going there a long time, and I credit the fact the stretches, because they do all of my stretches. Just getting this, I mean, they have the weights and they have all of the equipment that you can use too, which is all great. And stretching. And my current student that I work with is an intern and is a massage therapist in real life.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Wow.
He really knows how to stretch. And so he's been working on my shoulder really nicely. And
nice.
And it's made a difference. Because chronic pain, I have, knock on wood, not had chronic pain. I don't know if y'all had to deal with it. But this
only
shoulder
for 30 years.
Really? Yeah. I don't know how. Like, it is exhausting. It is like physically exhausting.
I think it just now it takes longer to heal from any kind of injury, minor or huge, and then definitely takes a little bit more time, and you have to nurse it. You got to nurse it. That's how it. Give it the time.
And knowing what vitamins are in what foods and what vitamins you pee right out of your body, and what vitamins go into the fat in your body, because you don't want to overdose on A or E, because those are stored within your body, or D. Whereas, B and C, you can't overdose it, just you pee it right out.
Yeah.
So these things are important to know so that you don't get yourself any worse.
But don't open the sea and sit in the sun for hours, because you may turn a bit orange. I've actually seen that.
I've never seen that. Have you seen that?
I have, yeah. This gal who I knew years ago, she was good at popping all the vitamins and this and that. And one day she comes into work and we're like, what happened? So, and she was very, very blonde and very, very fair skinned. So the orange really did come out.
Oh, that's funny.
A long time, a long time.
Well, an excess of B vitamins will keep mosquitoes away. I learned that when I lived in Alaska. Yep. Yeah, and if it really go overboard on B vitamins, you can smell it, or other people can smell it. It's a real strong. So that's why mosquitoes don't like you if you take a lot of B vitamins.
Okay. Hello, Tressa. I'm saying your name wrong, and I apologize. I'm working on it. I'm trying, but sometimes you say it wrong. I will say the B12. If you are feeling sluggish and fatigued, just try some B12. I noticed the effect almost immediately, and was like, oh yeah, I was really good about taking my vitamins, and then you run out, and you're like, oh, I'll get them, and then 2 weeks go by, and you're like, oh no. So try to be on top of that.
Are they really doing any good? And then if you stop them, they really are doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ellen, you're still at the Center of Achievement? How has it changed over the years?
How was it? How has the Center of Achievement changed? Well, when we went back there way in the day, when I started in the 90s, which was, 36 years ago, It was one tiny room.
I should
Yeah.
explain what it is, just in case somebody doesn't
Center
know.
of Achievement is an adaptive physical education program that's open to the faculty, staff, students, and the community. So if you're in the community, you can use it. They have an aquatic center. They have 3 different pools. They have a cool pool for people that have sensitivity to the water and don't want it too warm and don't want it too cold. They have treadmills that are in the water. If you're a community member, you get hooked up with a student assistant who is a kinesiology major learning. They have supervisors and interns that supervise the students. They do a complete program card on you. And so it's like having a personal trainer, stretcher. My number one thing is the stretching, because even though I can stretch at home, I can't stretch my legs like they do. They have standing frames. So they do all my stretching, and then we work on some weights or some cardio, and they have new steps, and they have bars. And I mean, it's like a small, it's an adapted gym that's specifically designed for people with various impairments. And you work with people. You get to work with students. It's 50 hours twice a week if you sign up for one session. Some people sign up for every day. Some people come a lot. It's just I'm so fortunate that I'm at Northridge and have access to it, but the stretching has really made a huge difference for me. I feel like I can stretch at home, but if I hadn't had it this last week or this last month since I hurt my shoulder, I think I would have been in much worse condition than being able to go there and talk to them. Like, I'm not doing this today. We need to add these stretches. So even if they weren't in my program, we need to stretch this area out. And they work with you, and they're overseen by interns and then by faculty. So, nobody's going to do anything that's going to hurt you. They all get training, and they're trained, and it's a great.
And how much does it cost?
It is for twice a week for like 13 weeks is like $260, I think, with an assistant now. It's not bad. So
That's
it's
really
twice.
good.
Yeah, it's not. It's gone up, and they sometimes have scholarships for folks. If you can, if you're at CSUN, you can take it as a class, and it doesn't cost anything if you're already paying students.
Wow, great.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you're a student, you can take it as a class, which is great. We try to get a lot of students in there. But as community members, that's where I work out with the lady who's 106. She just turned, turned 105.
That's great.
She's 105. She comes out. She's been going there for years as well. And she does her own workout program. You can sign up without an assistant and just use all the adapted equipment. And of course, there's people to help if you need help. But I always prefer a one-on-one so that I can have somebody stretch me. Like, there's just certain things. Plus, also that they get the weights for me, so I don't have to go get the weights, and they do all this stuff, so I just have to work out. So it is incredible.
Do they make a program for you every semester?
Yes. So, it depends on the individual's goals. So you would go in and you have to be evaluated. You have to come in for an evaluation to make sure you're okay. You do have to have your doctor sign that you're okay to go do these exercises if you're coming in from the community, because they don't want you in there, and hurting yourself. So there is paperwork to fill out. But once you fill it out and your doctor knows it, they have you fill it out each semester. It's pretty like, here, just get this and just get that. And it just goes back.
Good to go. Yeah.
They run, but it's right there on the Northridge campus at Lindley and Plummer, all the way at the end of Lindley. So it's a great thing. And I know that Taylor Isaacs, does anybody know what the gym that's across the street from Northridge, that's an adapted gym that was
Core.
Was it Core?
That's Core, yes.
So Core, Taylor Isaacs worked at the Center of Achievement before they all started Core, which is also an adapted gym and has people that are very knowledgeable about various disabilities and has the appropriate equipment. And I know in Orange County, there's some great gyms that you can join. And so they're out there, because I find going to a regular gym, they have, for the ADA, but they have like one arm cycle.
and there's
Next
Step in Lawndale. Sorry, there's Next Step in Lawndale. And then in Claremont, oh my gosh, why did I forget their name? There's another center that's also an exercise center.
The Perfect Step?
Perfect Step, yes. The Perfect Step in Claremont. So yeah, we're getting more centers that are accessible, which is great.
There's always that question when you're released from the hospital. It's like, okay, now I do outpatient PT. Great. Now what?
Yeah.
Now you're on your own in oh so many ways, including how do you stay healthy, right? And
Right.
at least 30 years ago, there really weren't any programs I was told about until I learned about Northridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when I went to CSUN and I thought I'd died and gone to
Mhm.
heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an amazing program. And Teresa, thank you for giving me the pronunciation so I can say it correctly. Yeah, Northridge,
Mhm.
I happened to find it because I went up to do my master's degree. And when I was in, they were trying to start something at Fullerton when I was there as an undergraduate, and they tried to adapt stuff. They didn't really have it. But when I went to Northridge, somebody told me about it. And of course, I was young and dumb and like, oh, I don't want to adapt to PE. I can do everything everybody else does. And I'm like, fine, I'll just try it because and then I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest gift ever.
Yep.
I mean, it really is mainly because they have the equipment and they have people with the knowledge, right? So having the right equipment that you can access and use is such an incredible, and then people that
Absolutely.
know what you're doing, because that makes a huge difference. I mean, exercise, everything I read, I do a lot of reading now as I get older. I never thought I would be that person. I mean, I always read books, but like now it's articles and this
Yes.
research. But it is about keeping moving as much as you can. If all you can move is 2 fingers, move those 2 fingers every day, right?
Exactly.
Whatever you have, you just use it to the extent that you can. And then if you can find other people to help you move the stuff that doesn't move on its own.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that stretching is so important.
Yeah. And then I think one of the issues now is like when you're discharged, sometimes it takes months to get back to your outpatient PT. No
Yeah.
TPP. So you gotta, find something to do. And there really is a lot that you can do at home on your own with, with stretch bands, with little hand weights, with medicine balls to kind of just keep moving until you get to go back. Because as they say, if you don't move it, you lose it. And we lose it really quick if we don't use it, right?
Yeah. Leah says Perfect Step is an incredible facility. Absolutely. There are some great ones out there. There's one in Orange County. Is that? I don't know which one that is. There's a couple
Yes,
in
Sean, I don't know of places outside of California. Anybody?
Arizona has an amazing center. I believe it's in Phoenix. And it's just
awesome.
this
Ability 360.
super. Yes.
Yeah.
I heard of that.
Ability 360 is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out there, and it's great to see. And the key is like they could be for anybody can use that equipment. The equipment, when it's universally designed, it's not just for this person. You can sit in a regular chair and do the arm cycle, right? You can pretty much use all of the equipment. That is the amazing thing about equipment design for people with disabilities. Even with hand controls, those able-bodied people can still drive the cars because the pedal.
Exactly.
I can't drive the car. I couldn't
Yeah.
drive with my hands. I'm like, you can just use your feet. Like we are accessible to y'all able-bodied people. We don't make our stuff so we make it so everybody can use it, which is again just key, right? Why aren't houses just designed accessibly? Why isn't gyms just everything in there to move stuff out, right? Money, you know why? It's people want to do it the cheapest way possible. So
Yeah. Well, people kind of think of us as an afterthought, when there's somebody there that's trying to get into your business or do whatever. And then they realize, oh, they don't fit. Oh, we don't have a ramp kind of a thing, rather than just putting it all out there where anybody and everybody has access and everything to you. But it doesn't happen that way, unfortunately,
And California is better than most.
Absolutely.
Traveling.
We are better in a lot of places. But I will say, in Greece, they put a freaking elevator on the side of the Parthenon, right? They figured it out, right?
Yeah.
And this is, an ancient friggin' site, right? They weren't thinking back then about wheelchairs.
Yeah.
But, and it didn't ruin the site. It's up the side of it, not at, and so incorporating access is not as hard if you actually talk to people who can tell you how to do it, as opposed to thinking you know what they need. And the same thing for exercise. Work with us. What works, what doesn't work. One of the, I was going to say, one of the greatest things is building exercise into your day. And ages ago, reading that, like, just doing housework is actually exercise, right?
Absolutely,
like,
yeah.
Right, you're cleaning, whatever. If you're moving around your house, you are exercising. So don't beat yourself up that, oh, I didn't go push 10 miles today. It's like,
Whatever.
what did you do? Did you transfer? I mean, every friggin' transfer we make is
huge.
Is exercise, right? I mean, picking up your legs and moving them around. Like sometimes those things feel like they weigh 80 pounds. Like, fudge, I got to move it over into the bed further, right? Anything that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And bending down to the ground and coming back up again, definitely exercise. And if you don't look to that,
sure you're
do it
hanging
slow.
on to something when you do that. So you don't go head first. We don't need that.
Yeah, no. But shoulder shrugs, like just doing the shoulder shrugs, pinching your shoulders back. And this is for those of you that sit at a desk all the time. Just pinching your shoulders back like this, just making your shoulders touch each other. Do that 10 times and then take a break in 10 times. That will increase your posture and also reduce pain. And this one, which we call the chin tuck, took your chin, took it back as far as I could, look up a little bit. Put it
and I think that
really will straighten out your neck, your spine, and keep it aligned.
I think a lot of quads tend to hunch forward, and your neck's a little bit to the front, and you're off balance. And the minute you straighten out, it's like, everything hurts. So you got to try to, do those neck exercises. Pull the shoulders back. Try to keep yourself aligned. Yeah, posture. I'm always on that. It's like, I don't want to be, before you know it, I'm not going to be able to straighten up again. So you got to, do the opposite.
So just moving your shoulders back like that, and do when you're sitting at your desk and tipping your head back. Yeah. Letting it rest is really good. There are so many ways. I mean, I actually saw a chiropractor. This one, where did the chin tuck? He had me do those every day, like when I was driving. I'm like, just keep doing it. And we had taken x-rays because my spine was starting to bend forward. And I saw, like, after doing it for a month, how much my spine had straightened out. So you might not always see it or feel it right away, but it really is impacting not just the way you feel, but the actual structure of your body. Absolutely. And it doesn't have to, you don't have, like, 5 minutes a day, like literally, I just read, if you just do 5 minutes a day of this, it will make a difference. It will make a difference.
And then when your head is back, do the chewing motion, and it'll keep you from getting a double chin.
Oh yeah,
chin stuff. Yeah.
You look lovely at the stoplight, going like this.
I know, when you're driving, right? Yeah.
I'm doing all those exercises in my car when I'm driving. I mean, that's the thing. As we age, because going out and doing like a full routine, it may be way too much. Like, you got to be honest with yourself. Yeah. But whatever, like, if you can build it into your routine, right? Like you said, when you're driving, or you're who cares if people are looking at you, right? When you're brushing your teeth, can you do, push against the sink, right? And push your arms in and out against the sink. So mini sit-ups, mini push-ups, right? So, after you're done brushing your teeth, put in 5 mini push-ups and see. There was a story about a man who, because they say that it takes repetition to build a habit, right? You gotta, and the best way to build a habit is to put it into your already routine, right? So I do this, and then you're going to add this little thing. And so he added that every time he went to the bathroom, he would do 5 push-ups against the wall, right there. Then it was 10 push-ups. Then it was 20, and then he ended up like just being really fit and doing it just by adding that into. I go to the bathroom and then I push up against the wall and do that there. Yeah, because it was part of his routine, and so when something becomes part of your routine, you're more likely to do it. So my challenge is to go out there, and one thing that you could do, whether it's in the car going like that until you come to the double chin, or just sitting while you're watching a TV show and hunching your shoulders back, pulling it back, just do that every day, and add a little thing in between those routines, and you'll be amazed at the difference. Because
My dance teacher used to say, try to hold a walnut in between your shoulder blades.
Yes.
Oh,
I've never forgotten that.
hold it,
All
hold it.
right, everybody, shoulders
Everyone
back.
is shoulders
There we
back.
go.
Oh, it feels so good too.
It looks like
That's
your
it.
friend Teresa was a professional dancer, an aerial dancer. Dude,
Oh, very
That's
good.
cool.
And
Oh, you
she
did
brought
the aerial stuff, the aerial tissue.
and
Cool.
she brought up the online classes that you can take. So I know I've
Yeah.
done Pain Driven with
Mhm.
Bobby and Paul before. Dang, that's a full
And
on workout.
Greg, yeah, it's a whole hour. And
Yeah.
you get like, you do all the warm-ups first, and then it's a little 15-minute little workout, and then you kill the rest of the hour nonstop. So it is challenging. Good.
Which one? The
Let me
Zoom?
get back. The
Staying
NorCal, yeah.
Driven on Zoom, yeah.
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 And
And
so,
I do Wow Wonders on Wheels, which is either dance or exercise depending on the day, but it's 5 days a week,
Yeah.
12 to 12:30, and it was amazing. In the first 6 months, I lost 6 inches off my waist because I
Wow.
realized I'm in a wheelchair and I never turn. I'm always wheeling like this.
there.
Doing Justin's class for the first time, and all of a sudden I was doing this.
You're moving.
There
Yeah.
went my weight. It's kind of
Wow.
nice.
I'm gonna when I walk my dog, I'm gonna bring that motion into it.
Twist.
I
Mhm.
already do my stretch at every
Yes.
corner we come to. I do stretches, but now I'm gonna do stretches and twists. The neighborhood thinks I'm a crazy old woman anyway, so who cares?
We all are.
You know,
So that
yeah.
fits.
Wear funky hats and go out there. But again, I had to mix it into my dog walking routine, right?
Mhm.
Because I have to walk him every morning and every night. And so deciding to put it into my routine has made me be more consistent about it. Like, and now it's every corner. We're going to do this, this, and this. And so now I'll just add one more thing. We'll do 10 twists at every corner, right? And then increasing it. But when I do that, because it's part of the dog rocking routine, my brain is just like, that memory, that brain memory of,
It's
you got to do this.
hard
Here you are.
your
Yeah,
day. Yeah.
I do. So I find that that's the best way to do it, is to build it into your routine. And even if you're working with caregivers, because I know we're sort of, have some privilege with the movement that we do have, but have them put a stretch into your routine, right? As they're dressing you, can they do a couple of stretches, right? The neck stretch, what can they do? They don't have to be physical therapists. You can look online, YouTube. That's where I got some of the stretches that I've been trying because my shoulder. Right. And just like have them stretch it a little bit each day. Just, 5 stretches while you get up, before you get out of bed, if they're helping you get out of bed. Because if they can build it into your care routine too, then you're both working on it and it becomes collaborative. Because it doesn't have to be stuff that you always do on your own, and it doesn't take that much more time, right?
Yeah.
Really, that 30 seconds it takes to do 5 10-minute stretches or 3 10-minute stretches, 30 seconds, it can be built in. And I think that for anybody, the movement, the stretching, and then also the touch, right? If you're having caregivers that are working with you, that touch in a, just being touched and stretched, touch makes a huge difference. Touch increases.
And now on YouTube,
the brains.
all kinds of tutorials and stuff where I'm sure, you can teach your caregiver how to do some basic stretches so that,
I haven't looked on YouTube.
They're not pulling long.
I haven't looked on YouTube for exercise. Have you, Michelle?
Yes, I have. There's people who do, little routines. There's some that just, focus on, these, 15 minutes of these arm types of exercises that are more basic, kind of movements and stretches and all of that. Yeah, there's quite a bit. I know there's a gal right now on Instagram that does
specifically for wheelchairs or just exercise in general.
No, just wheelchair or exercise for wheelchair users. You can find yoga. You can find, I think, Tai Chi.
Tai Chi is amazing.
Yeah, and it's like, absolutely, yeah. And Tai Chi is very surprisingly hard work. You don't think about the stretch. And if you're holding, the for however amount of time and everything, and you're like, okay, I'm not doing anything. But after a couple of minutes or so, you start to feel that, that stretch here and all of that. And it's very, what's the word? I guess afterwards you feel very invigorated because it's like these connections that you're making with your body and your chi, and I don't know all of that, how it all works, but I know you feel good afterwards. So if anything that makes you feel better, feel good,
Right.
feel connected, is all positive here. And I think in my case, yes, since I am the plus gal here on the show, I mean, I've had challenges, back and forth when it comes to exercise. And I think for a lot of people, it's not the fact that, oh, you're lazy, you don't move. I think a lot of it is tied to mental health, which is something that I deal with. So I'm here and I'm there, and, I'm consistent for a long time, and then I drop off and then I start up again. And, but when you can get back to it, or just start with the basics, just whatever you can do at home till you, yeah. And that's the thing. 'Cause, I mean, your body's constantly moving, your arms are, and everything. And I think when you can do motions that are different from your regular, that movement that you get when you're pushing and all of that. And, because you're like, okay, my arms are already hurt and they're already tired from all the pushing. Now I got to do more movement, but it really does help keep your strength up and all of that, and your stamina. And, it's just
I
good for you
remember
all.
a PT.
Gotta move.
PT taught me this to give ease to your shoulders, go like this,
Mhm.
and then you rotate out
Yes.
and back. Your elbow is in your waist. Go like this,
Yeah.
and back. I honestly, I think it builds the muscles, the subscapularis, and the muscles, under your shoulder blade.
Yeah.
But that's helped me for at least 20 years.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
There's so many little, and I will say on YouTube, because I whatever I done to my scapula, my clavicular, my rhomboids, I don't know, with pain back there, is trying to figure out where it really is. I mean, I
Yeah.
went and got a cortisone shot. That just made it friggin' worse. Like,
Oh wow. Mhm.
yeah, it did not help at all. It actually made it worse. So I'm looking on YouTube, and there was Dr. Fang, Pheng, had a 5-minute routine for stretches for those areas. Did them and felt immediately better, and now brought those stretches to the center of achievement and said, let's add some more of these. And so he just, I mean, they're just, basic. He had this one, and he had these ones where you go side to side, and he's like 5 minutes a day. And so, really bringing those in, and some of the rotator, because I do a lot of spinal rotators just to stretch. But there's there's so much amazing information out there.
Yes.
That
Did you say Dr. Fang?
Fang, ENG, I think.
What?
I just,
that's right.
ENG. He had like 5 minutes for scapular something problems.
I just know a friend, Jeanette.
Came up and
she can't drive anymore because it's been so bad.
Yeah,
Friend Jeanette.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you only have one hand to steer with, because the other one's on the hand control, what are you going to do? So she stopped driving. That's a bitch.
Yeah.
And the thing is, don't forget the hands too, and the wrists and all of that, especially if you're driving, do those hand stretches. If you're sitting there for TV or whatever, is work the hands, work the fingers,
Yeah,
and even
that's for carpal tunnel, this one.
Yeah. If that's the big one. Even if, say, you have to be in bed because you're healing from something or pressure sore or whatever, there's still stretches and movements that you can do with your arms just to kind of loosen up everything, especially if it's a matter of, days that, you're not going to be able to get up, or you have to spend most of your time in bed. Definitely have to just keep that motion, and whatever it is, that just motion, circles or whatever, flies, or the skiing motion or whatever it is. It just, got to keep moving. Yeah,
a friend Dell's mostly in bed, and he logs on to Justin's class quite a bit, and he just moves whatever, like you guys said, moves anything he can twitch, moves it.
Yeah.
And then it said David said looking at a standing qigong and breathing, any breathing I will say the Arthritis Association has certified seated Tai Chi instructors or adaptive Tai Chi instructors. If you can find him, and you can find them online too, like they've done the Tai Chi is amazing, and it is much more work, as Michelle said, than you realize you're doing.
Yeah.
And it helps with balance. And also, doing the lifts off the wheels. They taught me that, right away out of the hospital. Like, do your this.
And the breathing is very, very important.
Like this. Oh, I can't lift.
Our friend David Washington is an expert Tai Chi teacher and practitioner, and doing the breathing and all of that. We should have him on someday and have him do a little Tai Chi presentation. I know, he's joining us today.
Where can we take your class, David?
We're calling you.
Break. I'm one of those people who forgets to breathe. It'll be all day and I'm just gone.
And then you're
then I start yawning and it's like, I haven't been breathing. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's important when you're exercising, because it's true. You get into it and you're going and then you realize, I haven't taken a breath, and you're just kind of
breathing is
wonder
so
why
important.
you're wilting. You have no oxygen.
Yep. My other thing is, if you can stand in a standing frame, find standing frames. Again, the Center of Achievement has different kinds. That is so amazing for your body. Even as they stretch me, it doesn't stretch my legs out. But when I get in the standing frame, man, I am forced. The knee is, I'm standing in it, and it's pretty amazing. And the other one, which if possible you can do at home, is laying on your stomach. Even if your legs won't lay straight down. But laying on your stomach opens your hips completely.
Yes, absolutely.
The opening of the hips makes a huge difference in how everything, the innards are functioning. So, if you can even only stand it for 30 seconds while you're working with a caregiver in bed, have them see if they can roll you on your stomach for a minute, right? And how long can you stand that? Because it really is just good for your body to be in different positions. We sit in our chairs, or we sit the way that we sit all the time, right?
And I love those reports that say that the worst position you can possibly be in is the sitting position for more than however
all like the letter L after a while.
Do not have a choice, right?
I can do it. I can sort of do an L, but my fingers don't want to.
Oh,
that's how you know I'm a quad, because it won't.
I
can't make them go down.
Hey,
I can Spock with this one, but I can't with my right hand. Is not as functional as my left.
Yeah,
hey, David,
and
what are you doing the first Thursday of next month? First Thursday at
Tai Chi class with us.
Come on and let's do a Tai Chi class.
Yeah,
it's any first Thursday that you're available. But the breathing, and because you can also teach us about why it's so important. Obviously, if you're doing Tai Chi and Qigong, the breathing, right? The total, bringing that breath into your body, the focus on areas of the body to bring breath into to also reduce pain, like thinking about the breathing. There is such a connection there. And again, breathing, being able to do as much breathing as you can is really good. Just the deep breathing in and out, and trying to breathe not from your chest, but from your stomach.
Not shallow. I think sometimes we get into that. We're just kind of a little shallow breathing, and you kind of start to get a little out of breath, and then you realize, I need a nice, good deep breath, open up the lungs and everything. I think especially if you're odd, and if you tend to have upper respiratory issues and all of that. So, they say singing is great at the top of your lungs, because you're using that air, that air from deep within and everything. Doesn't matter if you sing well or not. Hey, you're in your car, you blast the radio, and you just start singing.
Everybody in the audience right now is taking deep breaths.
There you go.
Nicole's saying breathing techniques are very good for your mental health. Absolutely, Nicole. Thank you. Yeah, it's not just physical health; it's really that mental health, and that is where exercise comes in. Getting and moving your body increases the release of hormones that are positive, reduces the negative hormones. I mean, it's all connected. And Michelle, you're so vulnerable and honest about dealing with your own depression and issues. Thank you so much for sharing, because we go through that. But like you said, it's that day of being honest about it and realizing it helps you address it.
Yeah,
if you
absolutely.
feel
Yeah.
it or like, oh, it's not that, then you're not dealing with it. So being able to
Yeah.
deal with it and say, oh, wait, this is now, I'm seeing this pattern. And now
Yeah.
what do I need to do? And
Yeah.
do
It
I need
affects
people
the
to help?
motivation, or, the this, the that, it's, can be something different all the time, or sometimes you fall into these patterns that
Yeah.
aren't necessarily good for you, but you kind of get stuck in them until you're okay. Why
Yeah,
why
and
is it, why am I stuck in this? I need to,
I
well, you
replace
try
the
to
have to
need,
turn off
address it.
go a
Netflix.
different
Yeah.
direction.
Yeah. Turn off
Yeah.
Netflix, go
And
outside.
then
That's what I have to
meditation.
do.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've never
Shamika,
been
I
able to do
hope
that.
I'm saying that right,
Yeah.
Shamika Andrews. Meditation is, I'm never good at meditation because my brain just doesn't want to stop talking. I'm better at guided meditation. It's like I
That's why
need
you need
somebody.
meditation.
But guided meditation, I listen to the other voice. I can't just not, like, if I've guided and I'm doing
Yeah.
something, or meditation while I'm walking, like I meditate on the
Yeah.
trees, and there's
Yeah.
no, but mental health, I will say, getting out and keeping exercising makes the biggest difference in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for me, it's my garden. That's my
garden.
Oh,
happy place.
that's great. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
kill everything. I don't like,
Great.
I've got yeah, I love gardens. I love to see gardens. It just can't keep, people bring me plants. I'm like, please don't bring me plants. I don't know why I can't keep them alive.
I have a steady flow of people who bring me their almost dead plants because they can't grow plants, but people give them
Yeah.
plants. They
You
bring them
bring
from
them
the
back
Like,
to
Andes
life, right?
village.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's good to bring nature into your house too, if you can keep plants, or for
yes,
however long that plant lives inside your house. It's bringing in oxygen, it's clearing
the
the
snake,
air and all
the
of that.
snake plant is good. The snake plant that grows up tall
Yes,
and snake,
straight
it
up.
doesn't need
Hmm.
super amounts of light, and it's pretty easy caretaking. That I kept
Succulents
alive for a
are
long time.
almost death proof.
Yeah.
Succulents, yeah.
I need,
And
yeah,
gardening is
succulents
good.
are good, but they're not as oxygeny as the other plants. But for an
Yeah, the other.
oxygeny type plant, the snake plant is a nice one. It doesn't take a great deal of care
Yeah.
it's got its roots. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Other ones, I don't know. I just kill them. I'm so sad.
Have you tried orchids? They're pretty easy.
Oh.
Orchids, you just water them or put an ice cube in them once a week.
Yeah, you
The ice
told me that. They still die. I don't know if I
Yeah,
don't have them in the right spot. I
they're
don't know.
finicky. They need to
Like,
like where they're sitting. You can't just put them wherever. They have to like where they're sitting, and then they'll
They
do
yeah,
it.
I think.
they need light.
I think my
Yes.
plants are like the portrait of Dorian Gray. They're just taking out all my evil and dying so I can look like I'm a nice person.
Okay, Leah,
So
we
you
need
gotta
some
keep them around, is what you're
gardening
saying.
tips. Yeah. Did you see,
Oh,
Leah? We need some adaptive gardening tips.
awesome.
Yeah.
That would be one. Raised beds,
Raised
beds.
raised beds. That would be the thing that I say. Raised beds. We did a neighborhood garden because we're trying to be a neighborhood collective and be healthy for everybody. We walk dogs and see everybody's walking. And they're nice raised metal beds. And so they're very high. That is incredibly helpful. Raised gardens. Tomatoes are generally pretty easy, but the thing about tomatoes, especially in California, is they will regrow the next year, but you don't want them to. You need to take them out each year and replant because it screws up the soil and it's not good for them.
They need nitrogen.
Those are my tips.
You have to plant something that is nitrogen fixing in between crops.
Yes.
Same with corn. Corn eats nitrogen like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't grow a second year of corn on the same spot. You have to put something like alfalfa in, something that will fix nitrogen into the soil. And now that fertilizer prices are going through the roof, we got to come up with other ways to fertilize the soil.
Compost. We do it. My daughter. I mean, thank God my daughter and her partner are the big gardeners, and they take care of the plants and they make things grow. Which, I mean, again, community. You don't have to be good at it all, but somebody in your circle probably is. So my neighborhood, our garden, we are growing herbs right now. We have basil and parsley and another kind of basil. And my neighbor went and harvested some and then brought me a beautiful appetizer plate with pesto and bread. I'm like, oh, this is the best. So, it pays off to...
Rosemary does very well if you like to use rosemary.
Oh my gosh. You
I
can't
actually have
stop
one
it.
on the windowsill, and you just go
Yep.
cut your little sprig of
Same with
rosemary.
you can't stop it. It just grows and grows and grows.
Which is a
Rosemary and
nice one.
mint.
And chicken, rosemary is great with chicken and other
Mhm.
things. And yeah, I mean,
Pork chop,
it is,
lamb
yep,
chops,
lamb chops. Yeah,
lamb chops.
Yeah.
Lamb chops are having Passover and Easter, and the spring holidays are this week. And so people are doing lamb chops and
Mm-hmm.
ham. And
I can
Rosemary,
smell
garlic,
that
and the whole
cooking right
works.
now.
oh, who's cooking ham at your house?
Ham's in the oven, folks, with a butter, brown sugar, bourbon sauce.
Oh,
Oh,
I want that recipe because I usually
sounds
just buy
good.
honey baked. I just go to Honey Baked and get their sliced ham for the ham portion.
And your whole house doesn't smell like it. You want the
Yeah.
smell.
I know my daughter loves corned beef, and you normally only have corned beef on
St. Patrick's Day, yeah.
St. Patrick's Day. I can think on St. Patrick's Day, so but I bought some extras so that we're gonna have one on Easter too. So
Nice.
I'm like, why not? She really, I mean, if that's what she really likes, she's not. I got the ham for the other traditionalists, but for her,
Yeah.
like, just some corned
Good.
beef and some potatoes, and, yeah,
I see.
that's cooking is good, and the exercising. I think like the little things like with the hands, we forget. Like you were showing us with those finger things,
Yeah.
how important it is just to stretch your fingers.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
want to know, Shanika, about like the rosemary and the air freshener. Like that's pretty cool. Like those fresh scents. Actually, that is an incredible point. The smells that you bring in. That you talked about that. The healing of smells is incredible. So if you can bring in some natural scents, and as Shamika was saying, like if you can make your own or bring, I mean, you want really natural scents that are from natural sources.
I have gardenias growing. Gardenias are right now
Oh,
flowering
they're
in the
so beautiful.
I have
gardenias. They're
Jasmine
so good.
too. And
Jasmine,
honeysuckle.
night
They
blooming
love
jasmine.
Oh, beautiful.
Orange
scent.
blossoms. They're
Ooh.
just wrapping up the orange blossoms right
Got
now.
the trees
Yeah.
down.
A few weeks ago, and after the rain, if you live anywhere in a neighborhood where there's oranges growing, it
Yes.
is an amazing smell. And then the magnolias are starting. So
Yeah.
I live in a street that has magnolia trees and have the big white flowers. And oh my God, when they're all in bloom on that street, going down that street is incredible. Like, but you can bring those scents into your home. Like Shamika's saying, like,
Yeah.
there's so many beautiful oils to bring in. And again, put that in with your routine while you're stretching
scent
or meditating, a scent. And then that scent can bring you back to that meditative state wherever you are. You can carry it on they have little bracelets now where you can put the scent on the bracelet and take a whiff of it when you're freaking out. So it's
never do
volcano.
that.
Yeah. So there's volcano rock, and the volcano rock keeps the scent in it. And that little necklaces you can
Essential
wear.
oils, yeah. And also,
And
if you are into scent, it's good to do like a little lavender in your room before you go to bed. Is there, essential oil? There's little sprays. There's, different things you can just set out, and it just kind of really starts to help you wind down. And that's
only
the
problem
other
with
thing
the,
too. It's like, how we incorporate a little bit of exercise with our whatever daily routines. Think of your wind down routine at night, everything you do before you get ready to go to bed. And if you just kind of add a little something in there and stretching, and because if you skip one step of that routine, you're not going to be able to sleep. So it's like
laying on the bed, I can lift both of my arms up at the same time and not fall over. So that is
With it,
often
yeah.
a time when I'm laying in the bed and doing the arms up and the breathe in, breathe out.
Yeah.
And just again, if you have the scent in there as part of the routine, then when you smell it, lavender and clover, beautiful too. Yeah. Just there are so many ways to help your brain trigger that exercise, right? And so you think of Pavlovian dogs. So if you've been exercising with a certain scent and it's releasing cortisones because you're exercising, perhaps when you smell that scent, it will also trigger release of those happy hormones and increase that, right? So, it's using that mind-body connection and creating these habits. And that is, I think, the key part. It has to become a habit.
Absolutely.
And so don't go out there and say you're going to run a marathon and be done. Like, I'm just start small. Start small. I'm going to do, 5 little bench press things against the sink right after I brush my teeth. Right, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have my caregiver stretch my leg up 3 times, before I get out of bed, and increase that routine. And then 2 weeks later, now we're going to stretch both legs, and it becomes a routine. And
Yeah.
and Aaliyah, I think, was saying that, like, that camaraderie and that teamwork. I mean, I will have my daughter sometimes stretch me, like stretch my head. There are things I can do some of it, but I can't do it as well as I can with somebody else. And that connection,
Yeah, it's not the same.
touch, then is also building community, so.
Absolutely.
Well,
Wow.
I can taste this.
Oh, here we
Nice.
go.
That's my
Yeah.
feeling about it.
Just don't try to cut orange blossoms and bring them in the house. They don't last 2 days
No.
max. Whereas gardenias will last so long.
A lot
They'll
Really?
last.
time.
Yeah, just
That's
cut
good
off
to know.
one little flower, put it in a shallow bowl of water. It'll last a week.
Magnolias
Send
do not last
it-
either. Don't cut the magnolia. The magnolia is beautiful, but it just dies, and then it's sticky. It gets, like, as it dies, it's sticky, and
Yeah.
it's sticky everywhere. Leave it on the tree. That one's not. But a gardenia sounds good. And gardenia smells beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many beautiful smells. And, as squads dealing with our bodies all the time, we have a lot of things that, we're dealing with smells that are not always the best. So finding ways.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just is the truth of what we do.
I knew we'd get to poop. We
There we
always
go. Yes.
somehow
Well,
or other.
I will say, and we should talk about this again. There's a new article in New Mobility about to rethink colostomies, right? Which might
Really?
be, talked about how a lot of people said no, 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 and then they finally got one and said, "Oh my God, it changed my life so much better."
I didn't.
So
yeah,
that's what it was
Well
about,
done.
and sort of, like, we are intimately, if you have an impairment, a physical impairment, especially one that is neurological in any way,
Yes.
you are intimately dealing with every aspect of your body in ways that other people aren't. And so if we can find ways to honor because trust me, I'm sure we all get mad at our bodies. They betray us at the wrong moments, or they just not when they're supposed to. But if we can find ways to honor it and develop that harmony with it, and sometimes that's finding sense and routines and habits that help us, realize that it's doing the best it can.
Yeah.
And
No kidding. Yeah.
Can you swim if you have a colostomy?
I believe you can, but that's a good question to throw out there. And maybe Bobby would know, but maybe we can have, like, a show on that, because it is something that people with, especially spinal cord injury, don't get earlier in their injury, but they often get it later on.
Later.
And,
Yeah.
Everybody
because
I've
their
heard said,
bodies
I
changes.
wish I'd done it years ago, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what the whole article said. But they also, I mean,
Great.
there are things to talk about with that. We can talk poop another day, but I think that is one that exercise will stimulate.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Especially-
Exercise will stimulate those bodily functions. So you have to be mindful of that when you first start
So you
it.
gotta
Right?
move if you want to move. So
Yeah, you got to
There
move
you
if you
go.
want to move. But I'm saying standing up, right? You want to, like, if you haven't been in a standing frame for a while and you're standing up, be sure to go home and be mindful that you may have to be moving in other ways once you get home.
Yeah.
So, that's that finding that harmony with your body and recognizing it. So you don't want to go into the gym standing up and then go out to where you're going to be at a party for 5 hours and not have access to,
Not at
Well,
all.
I
that's
feel
part
that
of learning your body.
we've achieved our goal since we mentioned poop.
We have.
There you go.
It's either
So,
poop,
yeah, to get
sex, and
back-
pee. Come on, it's all bodily functions are the prime things. I always have said, you get people together with spinal cord injuries or neurological injuries, the 3 things that will always come up is poop, pee, and sex.
There you go.
I think that should be our new name for our
Oh, God.
podcast. Forget Rollin with the Golden Oldies. It's PFP. Poop, sex, and pee.
Yeah,
Or just
yes,
bodily functions for
bodily
short.
functions. That
Yeah.
should be it.
So going back to our little exercise thing, okay, right now, no, I'm not going to go back to my pre-pandemic routines and what I was doing and where I was at. A lot happened within those couple of years for me personally. I don't know about everybody else, kind of a thing. I honestly feel that I'm not back to where I was before the pandemic. I don't think any of us will ever be, kind of a thing. But yeah, if you're, starting looking into starting up an exercise routine or whatever it is. Okay, start with 2 minutes. If you can do 2 minutes of something and then you slowly start adding on, just set realistic goals. I mean, I
Yes.
can't say I gotta go back to the gym 3 times a week like I used to for 2 hours and this and that. Okay, well, then I'm going to start 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes midday, from whatever it is that you can incorporate, into your life is awesome.
Yes.
Oh,
5 minutes of movement better than 5 minutes of doing nothing. So,
Or
Oh,
Netflix.
Leah has a
We
lot of
for-
information about colostomy. If we do want to do an episode on poop and different ways to poop and dealing with how you clean up and whatever, and I mean, because I think there's a lot that people didn't tell me, and you're at Universal Studios and you've gone on a roller coaster that's just made everything. How do you deal with that, right? And that's where a colostomy is. That's what they were saying. So, I mean, different information. But Michelle, I think ending with that idea of it's not comparing yourself to anybody else. It's not comparing yourself to what other people are doing or what you used to do. It's saying here's where I am, and here is a realistic starting point, and then building it up each day, and to honor yourself for the 2 minutes you did it, for the minute that you did it. And then, it's always personal best. You're not competing against anybody. You're just supporting yourself.
Absolutely.
Amen. All right, Sean, if you will put our sponsors back up for a moment.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us. We love having you out there. Shamika, Nicole, Leah, Daniel, right? Daniel, he was there. Sean.
And
there were other people out there.
And Nicole, everybody, thanks for
everybody. Yes, thank you all.
And thank you, mobility professionals and urology professionals. We love you guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Take care.
Thank you all.
Bye.